6 p.m. in Kolofata in the far north region of the country. Good evening, dear viewers of Equinoxe Television. Thank you so much for taking the rendezvous with us on this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast. First, our major stories. After reconciliation talks between the head coach of the Indomitable Lions, Mark Breeze, and the president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Fecafoot, Samuel Eto'o, can Cameroonians be assured of a happy end of conflict? The answer to this question will be revealed in this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast. Away from that, at least 300,000 youths are said to consume or smoke tobacco in Cameroon. The revelation was made after a survey carried out by the Ministry of Public Health on the occasion of World Tobacco Day, which is today. We'll be telling you about the health risk associated with tobacco use, including smoking. Those are major stories. Stay with us for details and more. Thank you so much for choosing Equinoxe Television. For presentation, I am Immaculate Fogwe. We begin with our sports page. After reconciliation talks between Fecafoot's president Samuel Eto'o and Mark Breeze, trainer of the Indomitable Lions, many are hoping that it will be the end of the wrangling that has caused a strained relationship between Fecafoot and the Ministry of Sport and Physical Education. Though many believe the appointment of the Cameroonian assistant Mark Breeze is not yet validated by MINSEP, they however hope that it won't affect the Lions camp, which is to start this weekend. But how did the Cold War begin, or between Fecafoot and MINSEP? Answers in this report done by Smart Chikan Gabriel.
Fecafoot versus MINSEP saga began after the sports minister, Chief Professor Narcisse Mwele-Kombi, appointed Mark Breeze and his assistants on April 1, 2024. These appointments were contested by the Cameroon Football Federation, who were not happy that the Minister of Sports made announcements without their consent. In a show of power, Fecafoot will be absent in the contract signing ceremony of Mark Breeze and will go ahead to appoint Martin Tungumpile and others to be assistants of Mark Breeze. On the same day, Mark Breeze was releasing his list of players called for the upcoming FIFA window. Fecafoot invited him for a meeting, though he attended the second meeting called up by Fecafoot. After a long tug of war, FIFA will intervene, requesting that Fecafoot should review Article 9, Line 1 of the convention they signed with the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education. The Cold War became an international affair when the president of Fecafoot, Samuel Eto'o, had a bitter exchange with Cyril Tolo, technical advisor at the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education, and Mark Breeze. The peace meeting between Mark Breeze and Samuel Eto'o, Thursday, May 30, 2024, brought to an end the close to 2 months Cold War, with attention now on the outing of the Indomitable Lions next June 8, beginning with their camping, which is expected to start on Sunday, June 2nd, 2024.
And away from sports, the police is investigating the death of a 24-year-old young man in Kumba in the Med Division of the Southwest region of the country. The young man, known as Corbett Kimby, died in unclear circumstances. He is said to have committed suicide. Ase Lucilengu reports.
A neighbor found his corpse hanging from the branch of this mango tree in the early hours of the morning Friday. The 24-year-old inhabitant of Makata in Kumba, southwest region of Cameroon, is said to have committed suicide.
He started talking for die. Tuesday, he called me saying, he don't go for his friend's house, he see the phone under.
Tan Corbett Kimby was released from police cell less than 24 hours before the macabre discovery. He was in detention in connection to a stolen phone.
He won't go to spy the phone of the friend, asking me the crime means come even police can't take the phone to his friend.
His brother said he called some of his friends to inform them of his intention to commit suicide. Police officers who later arrived on the scene found a note of 4 pages in his pocket, but the content remains unknown to the public. After traditional rituals, he has been buried in the Kumba town cemetery.
Asia Lucy Liengo reporting there. Meantime, police officers in the West region have dismantled a gang of 9 suspected armed robbers who recently burgled into an old man's house in Banjul and stole the sum of 940,000 francs CFA. Firearms, cartridges and machetes which they allegedly used to carry out the operations were seized by security forces in the course of that operation. Innocent Aze tells us more.
Young men, 9 in number, between the ages of 19 and 25, were nabbed after their last operation on May 3rd.
Ils se sont organisés en bande pour aller agresser un papa.
They aggressed an old man at his residence in Banjul. They took away from him the sum of about 940,000 francs CFA.
De 940,000 francs. De francs CFA en numéraire.
Following a complaint filed, police elements in the West region launched a manhunt resulting to their arrest. Machetes, firearms and cartridges are weapons allegedly found in their possession. Mobile telephones and motorbikes with no documents were also found in their hideout.
Je peux, n'est-ce pas, me réjouir de ce que...
I can rejoice the targets have been apprehended by our professional forces. I salute the population for their collaboration. However, it is an occasion to send a message to other hoodlums out there that there is no hiding place for them. They will end up like these 9 suspects if they do not repent. We are determined.
Cette voie-là de se reconvertir. Ceux qui continuent à fuir, qui se feront rattraper dans tous les cas. Nous sommes déterminés.
It should be noted, these 9 suspected bandits, allegedly ex-inmates of the Bafoussam Central Prison, are accused of giving sleepless nights to the population of Bafoussam and its environs.
We'll leave Bafoussam in the West region to now take you to the nation's political capital, Yaounde, as the Yaounde City Mayor Luc Messi Antangana blames the population for the poor state of some roads across the city. According to him, a lot of people care less, reason why they feel comfortable to litter dirt on the streets. While on the field to evaluate ongoing road maintenance works and inaugurate realized ones, he urged the population to be responsible. Innocent Aze once more reports.
The Yaounde City Mayor, Luc Messi Atangana, while on the field to inspect ongoing road construction projects and inaugurate realized ones within the city, did not reserve his remarks. The population contributes enormously to road degradation.
La dégradation provient de la manière dont ces ouvrages sont utilisés par les usagers.
My wish is for users to be more responsible.
Soit plus responsable dans l'utilisation.
He as well decried incivility nursed by the population of Yaounde on the subject of poor waste disposal around the city, with the blame usually settling on the city council.
Qui inonde la ville.
When we talk of heaps of garbage which engulf the city, everyone rather stares at the mayors, forgetting to know they, the population, are the ones who produce and dump the garbage carelessly. However, we are working to put in place a strategy to bring the garbage issue in Yaounde under control.
De façon efficace le volet des ordures.
It is worth recalling the problems of road degradation and poor waste management remain major problems in Yaounde, despite the
business records and his harsh-managed criminal trial, an unprecedented and historic verdict that makes him the first former president in the United States history to be convicted. Seri Chakucho reports.
All eyes are set on South Africa's Independent Electoral Commission. Partial results in the National Assembly election put the long-ruling African National Congress Party ahead. However, with around 34% of votes counted by Thursday, it was still only an early picture after Wednesday's vote. This is the first time the ruling ANC has faced the real possibility of losing power since the country's first democratic elections in 1994. While the Democratic Alliance is in the lead in Western Cape, newly founded MK Party, which is backed by former President Jacob Zuma, is in the lead in KwaZulu-Natal. Rival parties critiqued what they call the arrogance of the ANC, with Charles Gumban, the Secretary General of MK Honto's Besides Party, saying economically they failed. To the political analyst Joel Stefan Cois, it is still too early to tell if INC's votes will fall under the 50% mark, but regardless of the results, political parties in South Africa may have to change the way they operate politically. Elsewhere, Donald Trump has slammed the verdict which found him guilty of all 34 felony counts against him on Thursday. The former U.S. president said the trial had been rigged.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged